Okay, everybody, it's great to see you at another guitar lesson with Bo. And we are already on number 12, if you can believe it, for beginners. And this is amazing, man. I'm not charging a dime on this stuff. This is free. It's awesome. But what's really cool above all things is just you guys getting, if you're home just chilling out, then you get a chance to, be a part of learning an instrument. And so I hope you guys are having a good time on this. So we're just going to work on more chords. Now, remember, in order to know the chords, you have to know the letters of the notes on the guitar. So that is a must, and you by now already have to know that. So you have to know that this is E, that this is E, that this is B, that's G, that's D, that's A, and this is E. And then you have to know how to go to on every string, E, where's the next one? F, G, A, B, C, D, E. And then we go to the next string, A, where's the B? There, where's the C? D, E, F, G, A. Next string, D, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Next string, G. Then we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Next string, B. B, C, or B, C, wait, B to C, yeah, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. I had to think about that one. E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. Let me take off that little delay. That's bugging me. Now, what was really important about going all the way up the strings is that you know what the names of the notes are. That's the important thing. So you can play down like this. You can play scales down, or you can play them all the way on one string. Isn't that cool? The only reason we go this way down or up is because instead of going this way on one string, we're utilizing these other strings. So that's the cool thing about guitars. We have these other strings. So we can go up and down. We don't have to just use one string. Now, in the chord work that we're using, if you remember, basic chords are consisting of 3 notes. Remember that? The first, the third, and the fifth. So whenever you start on something, say you start on A, well then you know A, C, and E are going to make up the chord. Now what makes it a major chord or a minor chord, like we learned in the last lesson, has to do with how many spaces from 1 to 3 and how many spaces from 3 to 5. That's what constitutes really the major or minor in a simple way. And so I hope you're getting that down. Now remember, just a little recap is that the half step was just from here to here. That's half step. The whole step on a guitar would be here to here. 2 jumps, 2 frets. 1, 2. If I want to go another whole step, I would go another 2. Right there. Another whole step. There. Another whole step. There. Another one there. So from 1 to 3, you're usually going to have either a whole step and a half. Okay? So we can say one whole step, point half of, one half step. Or you're going to have two whole steps. So it's either going to look like this. That's 1 to 3. Two whole steps. I don't know if you can do that. Try to do that. Don't put your fingers down like I am, like this, like like that kind of thing. Just start on, put your finger here on the 1 and go to 2. So you're going 2 whole steps over. How does that feel? Go back the other way. Now you can play it with your right hand, you could play it with the pick. Now let's go a whole step and a half step. That's going to be here. So if we started here, one whole step, one half step, right there. Then go the other way. So hopefully you can see that really clear with my fingers. So two whole steps is there. Whole step and a half step is there. So you see how that looks. So from 1 to 3, it's either going to be a 2 whole step jump, or it's going to be a whole step and a half step jump. So if you took your chart, and hopefully by now you've made a chart like this, where you just gone down it, right? C. You start in the C right there. And you get, what's the third? E. What's the fifth? G. Remember, you count on your fingers. C, D, E is the third. E, F, G is the fifth. So you go through all the notes, which is there's only 7, right? Only 7, and you just go through it. C, E, G, G, B, D, D, F, A, A, C, E, B, D, F, E, G, B, F, A, C. And I just put those down like that. So hopefully you can take a peek at that, take a screenshot if you need to. And you can just, put that down. And you can just look at that. Now what's cool about something like that is you can look at it and you go, hey, I want to play a C. And you can go, oh, okay, I just need a C, an E, and a G. But what you're going to find is that when you do that, some of these are going to be major and some of these are going to be minor. Depending, again, on how many spaces are between the 1 and the 3 and the 3 and the 5. But we're really focusing right now in our beginner lessons just on the spaces in between the 1 and 3. Okay, so really that's really going to determine what is the major or the minor for us. That 1 to 3. Is it 2 whole steps or is it a whole step and a half step? Okay, so that's the cool thing. Now I had you guys just look at what 1 to 3 looks like here and 1 to 3 looks like there. Now I'm playing this note at the beginning, so that means I'm in F. So if I looked at my little chart, F, A, C. F, A, that's my A, right? F, G, A. And then where am I going to find a C? Well, if I want to play it on the same note, then I just go down, right? Keep going on the same string. If I want to play it on the same string, then I just keep going, right? There's A, there's B, there's C. So it would be like that. Or you can play it there. Right? But we're going to move down to another string. We're going to play our C right here. So what I want you to do is just get a pattern, like start learning this pattern in your fingers. And I'm going to show you this. Isn't that cool? Sounds kind of cool, huh? So this is just the major and minor triads. And now you're just getting your fingers kind of used to this feel. Now the reason why we're going to do this is because when you start getting a little better, you're going to start playing scales. And they're all going to be in this major minor. It's going to look like the whole step, half step look, or it's going to look like two whole steps look. That's how the scales are going to look. See, look how mine, this is a one whole step, one half step look. And then this one, this major, that's a two whole step look. So when you graduate and get into more scales or arpeggios, you're going to see this look a lot. So you want to start now. So look at, we just did FAC. Now what I'm going to do is, instead of playing this A like here, I'm just going to just shorten it one. Shorten it one. Right? Because remember I told you that there was minors they're actually a whole step and one half step. So we're just going to shorten this one and have this minor pattern. So check this out. You have a major pattern. Now all I'm playing is this note, and then I'm going to the next string and I'm playing this note. That's it. But just look at that pattern. And if you want to just kind of do something cool with that pattern and just kind of do a little exercise out of it, what you could do is you can move up the whole neck just doing this pattern. Isn't that cool? So you could do that. You could just work on it. And it works on your right hand too, because you're going to have to pick, alternate pick, up, down, up, down. So you can just do like that. Now when you're done with those, then do the minor look, which is the one whole step, one half step. So now, so let me show you that one. Now with this kind of learning, you can pick any string. So say you wanted to do this exercise just on any string, off the top of your head right now. There is some particulars that we can get in down the road, but just for right now, you're learning this idea of these spaces between the first and the third. Say you just picked up a guitar and you just went like, bink, I put my finger right there, right? And now I'm actually on the 7th fret. I'm on the 5th string. So what if I just did this two whole steps up from this? So it would look like this. There's one whole step. See, there's two spaces. And then I'm going to go another whole step. So what it is there's one whole step. There's another one. So look at. That would be 1, that would be 3, and then that would be 5, just like I did up here. Now I'm going to do it here. So you've probably heard songs like this. So which is really cool, right? Because our ears go, whoa, I kind of heard that before. But the point is that you can do the technique itself on any string. So you can just pick it. I can pick it over here. Now, the only place where you probably couldn't do the technique that I'm showing you right now is on the first string. The reason why is because you don't have another string to play the 5 on. You know, because when we play the 5, we're going to the next string down. And so you couldn't do that. But you can play this technique. Say you were on this second string, and you just put your finger on the 12th fret. Well, go 2 whole steps up. There's 1 whole step. There's the next whole step, which is the third of this. And then the 5th would be here. So that's kind of the way you can do it. So to answer your question, Daniel, how do you know what string to use? What's the difference between the strings? I'm pretty new to all this. The technique itself can be done on any string. The difference between the strings, of course, is how much tension are on the strings, which give it a frequency. And that frequency has a letter name. So this letter name is E when it's tuned to this certain frequency, E. That one's A. This one's D. This one's G. And the next one's B. The next one's E. And so when we tune like that, we find that we can we can play the way I'm telling you to play, like with these spaces in between these frets, and it will become a major or a minor scale. And so this is important to know, because when you want to learn a chord is going to be made up of that 1, that 3rd, and that 5th. All the chords, every chord. All the chords that we have down. So every one that starts with the letter, everyone has a 1, a 3, and a 5. And so that's what you want. You want to learn the notes of the guitar. And then after you know the notes of the guitar, you just start at any one. G. I'm going to start on G. Well, what's 3 of G? G, A, B. B's 3. So let's go to 5. 3, 4, G. We had B, C, D. So in the G chord, we have a G, we have a B in the middle, and then we have a D, the 5th, that we need to play. So we want to know where there all are on the neck. These G, B, and D's. So that's why it's important that you get a chart or look on Google and look up just guitar notes where they're at on the neck, and you can kind of look at that, and hopefully that'll help you. So, but getting this technique down where you're just going from your 1, I'm just starting it on this F up here, and going 2 whole steps over, and then which is the 3rd. And then going to the 5th, you're either going to see that pattern or you're going to see that pattern. Now I'm going to show you how this looks if I pick a certain pick a certain like note. So let's say I start this on C. So I'm going to play 1, 3, and 5, C, E, and G. Okay. So I'm going to find the C there. There's a C there, right? There's a C there. There's a C here, right? There's going to be a C here, right? There's going to be a C here. So there's a lot of C's, right? So I'm going to just pick a C. I'm going to pick this one. And I'm going to go to E. Now, I can find it on the same string, like in our technique pattern, right there. Now that's how many whole steps is that away from each other? That's 2. There's 1, right? There's 1 right here. Remember, a whole step is 2 jumps over. 1, 2. That's 1 whole step. So let's do another one. 1, 2. That's 2 whole steps. So there's our E. And there's our G. That's backwards. So see how I went? I started at the beginning, then I went backwards. Now you can hear, when you hear me play that, you can probably start hearing little melodies that you grew up with, in here. Because you're going to find that a melody is just playing these different little 1-3-5s and little notes like that. And so you can practice that. So that's C. So I did that on C. Now let me go to D. Okay, so that was C. Here's a D right here. Next one. So now D, when I look at the third, D, E, F. So the third's the F. Then we got G, or F, G, A. So A is the 5th. D, F, A. D, F, A. So there's D, there's E, there's F. So is that 2 whole steps, or is that a whole step and a half step? Yeah, it's a whole step and a half step, right? So notice if we're in D and we go to E, then all of a sudden, or we go to F, the third, F, sorry, I said E, but F. So D to F, you see that it's not 2 whole steps like it was in our C example, from C to E. From D to F, though, it's weird, but it's just 1 whole step and 1 half step. So check this out. Now it sounds like this. There's our 5. Now let me ask you a question. Is that major or minor? Remember, minor was a whole and a half. A whole and a half from 1 to 3. So what does that look like? That's minor. That's correct. Minor. Now in our C example, if we moved it back to C, from C to E, then we play the G, the 5. But what's that? That's major, right? See it? See that big space? Major. But when we play D, and the 3 notes that make up the D, D, F, A, we notice it's minor. Isn't that cool? So hopefully you're getting that. Now if you went to, say, D, say you went to E, and now there's D, there's E. And then you're going to play an E, G, B. E, F, G, A, B. E, G, B. 1, 3, 5. So now we're in E. Where's the G? Well, here's E, here's F, here's G, and then our 5 is right there, B. You notice our 5 hasn't changed, has it? It's always just right. It's kind of just, our 5 is just one string down and 2 over from where our first string always is you know, hooked, you know. So wherever our first string is, we go 2 over and down 1, and there's our 5. So this one, this E, again, is that major or minor? Look at the 1 to 3 and look at how many spaces there are. Is there 2 whole spaces, or is there a whole space and a half space? What do you think? Look at my fingers from 1 to 3. It's a whole and a half. So check this out. This is what we got going so far. Whoa, that sounds kind of cool, huh? You can play a reggae song this way. Some kind of beach lounge tune we got going on, huh? Just working on the 1, 3, 5. So we're not doing what's called sharps, or we're not doing flats right now. We're just working with the standard letters of the note, just natural notes right now. No sharps, no flats. So when you see these keys, you just play. You play where the A is or where the D is, or you don't go sharp, you don't go flat. Now we can sharpen and flat things to make them major or minor. We can do that. But that's maybe for our next lesson, where I'll show you how you can do that. But for right now, I just want you to understand and get that idea that we're working with whole spaces and half spaces in between 1 and 3 that are really telling us whether we're playing a major or minor. So if we kept going, and so we did C first, we did D second, we did E third. So let's just continue the pattern. Let's do F fourth. So if this is E, say I wanted to start F on another string, right? So here's an F there. There's an F there. There's an F there. So let's say if I played it here, just for kicks, right? It might be fun. So if you look at what fret I'm on the 6th fret, 2nd string. 6th fret, 2nd string. You can always look at the dots, right? The dots tell you 3, 5, 7, 9, and then it jumps to 12. And then it goes, you know, keeps going up. So look at the 6th fret, 2nd string, F. And now let's find after F is G, so that's here. And after G is A, right? So we know that from F to G is a whole step. We know from G to A is a whole step. So that's what we're doing. So there's our third. 1, 3. Our 5, yep, is going to be right there. Just like we did before, right? 2 over, 1 down. 2 over, 1 down. 2 over, 1 down. Now look how this looks. There's our F. FAC. So is it major or minor? Look at the spacing between 1 and 3. What do you think? There's one whole one. There's another whole one. So I got two holes, and that means major. So I'm going to be playing a little major triad. So you notice I'm starting, you can start like on any string you want really. And, you know, if you just pick a note, you can just go, hey, I'm going to play, I want to play F. And we just did F. And just start your 1-3. And so if we went up to G, from here, F, G, G, A, B, right? There, B's the third. C, D, D's the fifth. Let me put that up so you can see it. See how it's, see, look at the space. 1, 2 holes. Isn't that cool? So if it's 2 holes, what is it? Major. Let's go back to F. Go up to G. Back to F. To G. So you see how that is? Kind of cool, right? But you see how it does? I'm just picking twice now, every note twice. So check that out. You're messing around, you go, okay, man, I got that down, Bo. Move on, man. Well, hey, you know what you can do? You can just now play 2 notes, you know, strike 2 notes and then move. And you can just work on your picking, your alternate picking. So with our first example of starting in C here, now you can play if you go, hey, I kind of got that rhythm down, that two beats per string, or 2 strikes per string. Well, then maybe what you want to do is go to 3. Crazy, I know, right? We just keep getting crazier. But notice, all we're doing is working with these major and minor triads. 1, 3, 5. Our chords are going to be based off this, by the way. When we learn bar chords, major, minor, we're gonna major, minor. We are, all we're doing is just we're just doing these triads in chord form. And so it's cool for you guys to get to know these patterns. Remember, what's determining the major or minor is the distance between 1 and 3. Is it 2 whole steps, or is it a whole step and a half step? Okay, so if you want to try 3 strikes, you certainly can. I might sneeze in a minute because I have a lot of allergies. But let's go over the 3 strikes. my thumb, just so you know, is moving, or so you can see my thumb moving. I wanted you to just get a look at that, so in case you had any questions about where my thumb is at, I'm not just anchoring my thumb and moving all my fingers. My thumb is, this thing's all working like this. Okay. So hopefully you're getting that down. So again, it's important for you to know where the notes are on the guitar. And then if you want to understand the major and minor differences, then all you do is just learn the 1-3-5 triad and then play just the natural note. Don't play sharp or flat, just play the natural note, and then tell yourself, is that a major or is that minor, just by how many whole steps or half steps there are that make up the difference between the first and the third. So what we want to do is we want to learn our chords like we did in our last lesson, where we start going, oh, okay, I'm in C, that's C, E, G. So let me first just play the natural notes C, E, G. Play them together. Now, when we play a chord, we play the strings together, right? So we can't just play everything on one string, because you can't play 3 notes together on one string, right? You have to play them individually. That's called arpeggios. But to play a chord, you have to pluck them together. So that's why we use all the strings. So C, E, G. Right? Isn't that cool? That's the chord. Now see, I can't play this all together. Why? Because I'm playing 2 notes on one string. It's hard to play 2 notes on one string at the same exact time, right? You can't, because you're playing 2 notes on one string. And so you need to use another string to play that note. So because I'm playing this E here and I'm playing this C here, I gotta find out where I could play this E somewhere else. Well, it's right there too, on the next string. That's why you have other strings. You just go to the next string and find that note on that string. And there's a G right there. So I don't have to play the G here. I can play it right here. Why? Because I found my E on the same string as I was playing the G. So I gotta now find another string to play the G. So then remember our next little our little triad was the D one, and we went to the F, D, F, A. So let's find that chord, D. Let's find the F. Let's find the A. So we have this. Okay, are you getting how this stuff's relating to one another? The triad 1-3-5 is what makes the chord. That's what makes up the chord. So when we're playing these 1-3-5 triads, we got to put it in a chord form, and in order to do that, we need to play each note on different strings so that we can play them together, right? And that's the definition of a chord. A chord is the 3 notes played together at the same time. It's the difference between a scale, which is playing notes individually, or arpeggiating a chord, which is a chord, but you're taking the notes and you're plucking them individually. Okay? So individually. So look at this. Are those chords or arpeggios? See how I'm plucking them individually? Now they're chords, but I'm plucking them individually. So you get you see what I'm doing is I'm playing these really normal chords, but if I just pluck them individually, that's an arpeggio. Where our triad, we're just taking our triad and we're putting it in chord forms. What I mean by chord form, again, just good for repetition to get it through to the head, is when I say I'm putting it in chord form, what I'm doing is I'm putting them on each string so I could pluck it either together, chord, or I can arpeggiate it, pluck them individually. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to take again your notes of all the triads in natural form, no sharps, no flats, and just go down. We're gonna find something really interesting, and that is on another level, on another thing, we're gonna find what's called a diminished somewhere in there. But you're gonna see this kind of pattern going. Very cool, right? So you want to see how that works. So you start on D, right? Go D, right? E, or D, F, A. Then go to E. E, and what is it going to be? E, G, B. E, G, B. Then go to the next one, F, F, A, C. Then go to the next one. What's after F? Then we got A. A, B, C, A, C, E. Then we're going to go to A, or where were we at? I forget where we were at. We're going to go to, yeah, so you got to get me. I forget where I was at for a second. I was at G. Oh, that's where I was at. I was at G, B, D. And then we go to A, A, C, E, right? And you're going to find some are major, some are minor. And you can write that down. You can go, oh, I started on C, that was major. I started on G, A, B, that was major. I started on D, that was minor. I started on A, that was minor. You know? And you're going to find F, you're going to find which ones are minor, which ones are major. In natural notes. Natural, what I mean is no sharps, no flats. Just the note naturally. Okay? And that's cool. And then it's going to be easy for you to go, oh, I want to make the D triad a major. So instead of doing the minor, the natural, E, F, A, you're going to go, man, I want to make that's already minor. I want to make it major. So what would I have to do? Well, the difference between the minor and the major is just taking the third and going up one, right? Now that might have just went boom. Hopefully it didn't, but we'll next maybe time we'll work on a little bit of the sharps and the flats. Okay, so hope you had a great lesson, and thanks so much for tuning in. Bye bye.